would be the face of baseball. Okay, but my point being with Tiger, when Tiger's not around, the PGA Tour is almost non-existent. When Cal Ripken retired, baseball continued. When Jeter goes away this year, baseball's going to continue. If Mike Trout never plays another game beyond yesterday, baseball's going to continue. And the NFL is full of stars. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, okay, Calvin Johnson. So, through the years, Barry Sanders. The torch is handed from one generation of players, not a singular player, from a generation of players to the next generation of players. There really is no comparative situation when you look at the ability of Tiger Woods to be the magnet that he is, the sole magnet for the sport that he clearly represents, well above anyone. Mickelson, please. Same thing with hockey. Us hockey aficionados don't consider there to be a one player who is emblematic of the sport beyond all others. It just doesn't happen. There's several, there's not one. And the same thing with the NBA. Even when you want to take the closest comparison to Tiger not being with the PGA would probably be the retirement of Jordan. First retirement with the Bulls. But even then, the NBA still went on. The NBA developed other stars. I mean, Jordan did not hold his sport in the palm of his hands the way that Tiger does the world of golf. And that's scary for the PGA, by the way. Because by the time Tiger's up there in age and he's playing the senior tour, here's the scary part. And this has never happened before, but you want to know the power and the influence of Tiger Woods? Here it is. The tournament that constitutes the senior tour, when Tiger's on it, for the first time in the history of since there's been a senior tour, the senior tour will begin to outpace, outdistance, outdraw the regular PGA Tour. Think about that. That is stunning to consider. That for comparative purposes, that's like, for instance, when Walter Payton was alive, and if he had continued to live, when he retired from the Chicago Bears, and then let's say the NFL had a senior league, and Peyton went to the senior league, and it started to outdraw the NFL. Now, of course, this is a hypothetical, and maybe it's not even a good comparison, but it's almost like Michael Jordan going to a senior NBA, and the senior NBA having more luster, having more attention, having more eyeballs and interest and publicity than the regular NBA. That's how seismic, that's how gargantuan Tiger Woods is tethered to the world of golf. You remember years ago, I think it was in the late 1980s, they had the Senior Professional Baseball League down in Florida, and you had players like Dave Kingman and Vida Blue and Bill Madlock and all these players that would go down and play for like the West Palm Beach Tropics. You remember that? And these players, somebody came up with the idea, hey, get these former players to play like a 60-game schedule, and the league lasted, I think it was a single year. That would be like someone who played in that league, who no longer was playing in Major League Baseball, having the magnetism of being able to lure enough people to pay more attention to that stupid, silly senior league that they had than the regular Major League Baseball season. None of that is possible. None of that will ever happen. However, what will happen is unless someone bursts upon the scene to capture the imagination and the fancy of people, striking a chord within not only golf fans, but casual golf fans as well. Unless that happens in the near future, once Tiger's done with the PGA Tour and he starts racking up wins on the Senior Tour, the Senior Tour is going to outdraw the regular PGA Tour. Could Nicklaus make that happen? Could Arnold Palmer make that happen? Could Tom Watson make that happen? So, Seve Ballesteros, could he make that? No, none of these guys could. Tiger can make that happen. And listen, I'm talking in effusive praise regarding Tiger Woods, and it's well deserved. I've never rooted for him to win a single tournament ever since he's come onto the scene. I always have rooted against him. I've always rooted for the underdog because that, to me, listen, I can appreciate excellence on all levels. Got a great respect for excellence on all levels. But with Tiger, to me, a lot of times the story was if someone could beat him, which earlier in his career was rarely the case, especially when he went into the final round with the lead. He just pull away. But it's incredible the way that Tiger Woods commands the world of golf, unlike any other singular player in any professional sport commands the sport that they're in. The only comparison, if you want me to come up with one that I can think of throughout the history of sports, the only comparison I can make that comes sort of kind of close to Tiger and the way he holds golf in the palm of his hands, you have to go way back. All right, I mean, you got to go back to the name is Babe Ruth.